But it is affirmed, the Quran and the sound narration say Mary and Jesus are absolutely pure, sinless, free from every stain of sin, and that Satan was not allowed to touch them at birth, even though he touched every child of Adam. Now, here's the problem for the Quran. Now, Dave already knows this. I'm preaching to the choir with Dave, but for the rest of you. 1661, Dave, watch what this says, and you know this already, but in 1661, which, by the way, is repeated in chapter 35, verse 45 of the Quran. Chapter 16, verse 61, for those of you taking notes, and 35, verse 45 of the Quran, says basically the same thing. So we'll only look at 1661. What does it say?
And were God to take mankind to task for their wrongdoing, he would not leave a single creature upon the earth, but he grants them reprieve till a term appointed. And when their term comes, they shall not delay it a single hour, nor shall they advance it.
Now, David is been blessed with God with a sharp mind, genius. He's a philosopher and knows logic. Now, David, help me understand this logically. 1661 says that Allah would destroy every creature in existence if he were to call them account for their sin. But the Quran says Jesus and Mary are absolutely pure and sinless. They are free from any fault. Now, help me understand the logic. If there is no creature that's sinless to such an extent that if Allah were to call them account, he wouldn't destroy them, but then Jesus and Mary are absolutely sinless, what does this say about the implication of this passage in the Quran? Help me understand the logic.
Well, the only way to reconcile this, but of course you're going to have a problem then with chapter 5, verse 116. But as far as these passages that you've brought up, the only way to reconcile them would be to claim that Jesus and Mary are Allah.
Okay, you got it.
But by the way, did everyone catch that? Did everyone catch that? If Jesus and Mary are sinless, according to the Muslim sources, and the Quran says that if Allah were to hold his creation accountable for sin, there wouldn't be left anything alive, then Mary and Jesus must not really be part of creation, right? So if they're not part of creation, then they are eternal with Allah or Allah. So you either got multiple gods there or they're all one within the one nature.
Wait. Dave, are you telling me that it's actually Muhammad who said that Allah's the third of three? Allah, Mary, and Jesus? Mm-hmm. Wow. Thank you, Dave.
We brought that out briefly. I don't know if people caught it. In Islamicize Me, after we had robbed...
the snow globe.
Yeah. We had robbed the Christian neighbor, and one of the things that we robbed was a snow globe, and inside were a portrayal of Jesus in the little crib and Mary and Joseph. And David, Dennis's character says, wow, is that Mary, the third member of the Trinity, according to the Holy Quran? And then I say, oh, he's in a crib. Maybe he'll say something, since according to the Quran, he speaks in Surah 5. And then we wind it up to see if Jesus will say anything. And then Dennis says, oh, it's just music. It's just, that scene was done on purpose, which I thought was funny.